Okay, I want to welcome you to the show again. I've got the craziest guy on the show with me today, Brian Morris, who is the executive chef and kind of runs everything food-wise at Hattie B's Hot Chicken. So stay tuned.
Welcome to our podcast, Doing It Right. This podcast reveals authentic stories from successful leaders doing it right. It's about their journey to become a leader, their choices, motivations, and lessons. In essence, how they built successful personal brands. Your host is Valerie Sokolosky, author of 8 leadership books and nationally known as an authority on executive presence and personal branding. Let's get started. Here's Valerie.
I'm having to calm down because my guest today is absolutely so fun, kind of crazy, wears his hat backwards. You're going to meet in just a minute the executive vice chair. No. All right, stop that.
Cook it up. I like it. Yes. No, the executive triple deluxe. You let's lay it on thick. It's fine.
You know what? I think we should keep going.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to start over, audience. This doesn't happen. It is recorded, so, we try to make it perfect. But what the hey, today is not going to be perfect. So I want to welcome Brian Morris, Hattie B's Hot Chicken.
Hey, how are you? It's so great to be here.
It's so great to be here.
So look, we got to make it more personal. My name is Brian Morris, but inside the Hattie B's world, that's compressed into BMO. BMO.
I didn't know that.
So since we're getting personal today,
BMO.
You should know, we can be on first name basis. BMO.
Oh, well, what are you going to call me?
Val. Is that cool?
That's
BMO
so
Val?
funny.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. And here's what's so interesting, audience. When someone immediately, after they meet me, says Val, there's something that is a deeper connection. Every person that does that becomes a really good friend. So welcome to the friendship.
In fairness, we had that cooking already, right?
You did?
We did, I think. We hit it off right from the first
minute
we met
absolutely.
when you came into the new Oaklawn store. So
okay, I've got to tell
we seeded it a little. We were kind of tight already.
Okay.
I didn't just go right into Val. It wasn't like, hi, Val.
No, that's right.
Yeah. There was some friendship in between.
Can you tell the culture of Hattie B's Hot Chicken? I want to tell this story. So. Okay. Hattie B's Hot Chicken just opened in Dallas, Texas, and close to where we live. And so my husband and I are driving around. It's lunchtime. And I said, what's that? And Doug said, well, it's chicken. Let's go in. I said, okay. So it was before Hattie B's opened, but you had the doors open.
Right.
And so we walked in, right? Yeah. And I'm telling you, it was like this whoosh of people welcoming us. And you were one of them. And then I find out you're like one of the head honchos in Nashville, Tennessee. And that's what I want to say about my experience. What's your experience with Hattie B's?
Yeah, same thing, just from the other side. We're all so excited to get that new location open in Oaklawn, right there on Lemon Avenue. There's so much energy on that street. There's so much traffic.
That's
true.
So
it's just naturally energetic, right? But we were just so excited to get the doors open. And you were there, I think, a day or two before we opened.
I was.
And we tend to kind of leave the doors unlocked in those moments because
I wondered about that.
Well, teaching our folks, developing our folks with real guests in the building is so much better. It's so much more effective than pretending, faking it. We do that a lot, right? But you can only fake it so much. Like
I don't think you could ever fake anything.
So it's always better to have real guests in the building. As long as y'all know, we're not perfect. We're working here. You may see a ladder or a paintbrush or somebody turning a screwdriver, but come on in and let us show you what we're doing.
Well, and you entertain. I mean, so here's what it was like. And if you haven't been to Hattie B's Hot Chicken, wherever you live, because this is national, right?
Yeah.
Where are your locations?
Well, so we're born and raised in Nashville, Tennessee. So there's more there today than anywhere else.
Sure.
We're also in Memphis, Tennessee. We're in Atlanta, Georgia, a couple locations there. We're in Birmingham, Alabama.
Okay.
We're at the Cosmopolitan in Las Vegas. And we're here in Texas.
Whoa.
In Dallas, here in Oaklawn. And then,
best location.
I love it too. And then newest location. And then in Austin on South Lamar.
Oh, my gosh.
But the best is yet to come. We're really just getting started.
No energy. Do you think that they'll keep going like hot chicken? Okay, I've got so many things I want to talk to you about. One of them is just about you. It's about Hattie B's, and obviously it's about you, Brian, and how you came to Hattie B's. So tell us that story. From
my
Le Cirque
gosh.
in New York. I mean, that's like apples and oranges.
Yeah, so I was lucky enough to have some incredible years in New York. My wife and I got married at the courthouse there in Manhattan on my lunch break working at Le Cirque.
No
Yeah, I went
way.
back for dinner service that night, and then our son was born in New York Hospital Flushing in Queens, right in the shadow of Shea Stadium. So we're big Mets fans. Second best team in baseball this year.
But you can only wear one hat, Hattie B's. Okay.
Yes, that's true, yes.
Yeah.
Today, yeah.
Okay.
So
you came.
I just totally lost my train of
That's
thought.
how this goes.
Mets.
That's
I
how
got
this
Mets
show
winning
goes.
this year, and I was like, yeah.
How did you get from Le Cirque to Hattie B's?
Yeah, so we came back home to Nashville, which is great because we didn't want to have to put Jack on a plane to get hugs from his family. My wife's family's mostly in East Tennessee. Most of my family's in Nashville, or all in the Southeast. So we were back home, and just right time, right place. I was at a point where I was kind of trying to figure out what was next. And Nick Sr. and Jr., the father and son combo that founded Hattie B's, had just opened their second location. And we're also kind of at a what's next for us point. So I had a chance to meet both of them at that new location at that time in West Nashville. And I certainly knew in the first 5 seconds, like, this is where I want to be.
Really?
Yeah, right now.
And you'd been how many years in the culinary arts?
I mean, since I was a kid, my mom, did various things as a cook and chef. She's an incredible cook, and so yeah, I mean, I've been working in restaurants since I was a little dude.
A little dude.
Yeah. So met Junior and Senior, and it's just fate. It's just meant to be.
What are they like?
They're incredible. They are loving. I mean, everything with those guys is about, like, what can we do? What can we give? How can we love? Which is great because ultimately we're a hospitality business, right?
That's really true.
There's no simpler definition for what we do than how what we do makes you feel, right? And if you're really, like, hell bent on that, that all of these things we do as a chicken shack, right, are all done intentionally to try to make you feel something, right? Not just anything, but generally loved and excited and like belonging, right? And so that's what emanated from those guys right away. It wasn't just, hey, we're going to try to do the best hot chicken, or we're going to be the best restaurant. It was, we want to be the best at loving on folks.
Isn't that something?
And making you feel incredible when you come in, and letting that feeling be the thing that drives you to come back. In addition to awesome, crispy, crunchy Nashville hot chicken or grilled chicken,
macaroni
right?
and
Or awesome
cheese,
sides or desserts or cold beverages. So there's a lot of delicious reasons to come back, but really, like, it's all built so that the way you feel makes you want to come back.
I am glad you said that, because in Dallas, Texas, I'll just say, and of course this show is national, but just think, audience, about the restaurants that you go to. And the minute you walk in, you feel, to your point, you feel something, or maybe you don't. And I have to tell you that when my husband and I walked into Hattie B's, the music was blaring. Everybody,
Don't say blaring.
Well, it was jiving. It was a jiving place,
Yeah,
and
we want you to move a little bit when
everybody
you
was.
come in.
Listen, I don't know how many people came around to the table and made sure that we were okay. Who does that anymore?
Well, I mean, legitimately, we're glad you're there. I mean, if you don't come in, we don't have a reason to exist. So our team here in Oakland is really, really good. We've got some incredible teams out there in the cities that we're in. Because it's not me. I mean, it's not that day. It was. I happened to be there, right? Because we're getting ready to open the doors. But it's not me generally. But there's a lot of people who feel the exact same way about this that I do inside the Hattie B's ecosystem, top to bottom.
I am glad you said that, because one of the things I wanted to ask is, how do you train them to be so you?
Well, look, so one of the things, and this is not me, right? One of the things that Junior and Senior did so right from the beginning was they made Hattie B's hot chicken with this tiny menu, right? Mm-hmm. Hattie B's is simple. It's 5 cuts of chicken, like 7 sides, 2 desserts. You know what I mean? And so the simpler we can make it, the easier it is to make it stick, right? And to make it something that you can remember. And whether that's the way we make a recipe or the way we make a decision, right? Like, we have some core fundamentals that we drive the business with. And one of them, my favorite, is it loving, right? Because even at a little chicken shack like ours with a simple menu, our folks get hit with complex decisions throughout the day, right? And you typically have to filter your next step in the moment, right? You don't have a chance to think about it. Somebody wants to know what you're going to do next, right? And so, is it loving, that thing you're about to do or say? If it's not, it's probably not going to make them feel great. Whether they just, no matter what they should feel like next based on what they're doing, it doesn't matter, right? Like, what can we do to kind of turn it up in the direction of love or excitement or fun? So, is it loving? Is like the simplest filter that we use around the business every day, no matter your role, right? I use it every day. The person who's frying your chicken is using it, right? When he's deciding whether or not to give every tender a squeeze or just take the lazy way out and do some average fried tenders, right? I mean, seriously, it's in every part of it. Is like, do I love the folks who are going to, who this is going to be a part of their experience enough to like do the very best that I can?
How do you train that? So someone wants to go to work at Hattie B's. They go through the training process. How do you just give that shot of everything you just exuded back?
Well, a big part
them?
of it is, so we can't just tell you to do this.
No.
That has to be your experience from day one. And so much of it is how our training team approaches it. We have an incredible army of trainers out there in the field who really like, they are this, what I'm describing, and this we're going to lead with love. And generally we feel like we're going to win because we love each other more. And, in those moments, those are the decisions that we're going to make. We'll table the other stuff. We'll come back. There's a great word in our business called heard. Not just in our business. It's kind of a kitchen word.
Okay.
You ever heard it?
No.
Heard. Right? It's a simple
Like
way
I
to
heard
acknowledge.
you?
Like, yes, I acknowledge that I copy what you say. And it's a one-word response. And we'll get back to it later on. Right? Sometimes it's a simple acknowledgement. Hey, I need a mac and cheese to go. Heard. Sometimes it's blah, 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 blah. Heard. We're getting right, and it's these kind of moments. And so, the menu's that way, the training is that way, and just the way we operate is that way. But really, it's the simple nature of what we offer at the root of it in terms of great sides, great desserts, great hot chicken. That simplicity is what enables that.
I'm so appreciative of the things you've already said as lessons learned or teachable points of view in any leadership position. And is it loving could relate in any company.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, feel free to adopt that. Take that one, right?
Really?
Yeah, tell them you heard it at Hattie B's, but apply that where you are. It will reap rewards. It really will.
It just means caring
from
the
get
heart.
Lost in the minutia. Well, I didn't think that. Just is it loving, right? Because if we're in this business to make you feel great, then our actions have to count too. Right. And if I run around making you feel terrible, but I'm like, make sure they feel great, that doesn't work. And again, we didn't come up with that, right? There's some great people in hospitality like Danny Meyer who've written books on that literally, about this, we're only as good as the way we treat our vendors that come in the back door and our team members. And it really isn't about the guests at all. It's about the way we treat the folks who work in our ecosystem. Yeah. And then they just kind of mirror that. They reflect that same thing out. But so I guess that's the answer.
Contagious.
You can't train it. You have to do it.
You have to
do
be
it, and your team will reflect it.
So that you just said something that's really key. It starts with the leader. It starts with the leader.
100%. But see, this is also about our perspective and my perspective about where we are, right, on like the physical plane of this whole thing as leaders. Because I think it's easy to think that you're up here somewhere, and there's something to be said for feeling like you're pulling people
like
up to
I
that
am
level,
the CEO.
right? And I'm sure you've worked with somebody who says, "Oh, I feel like I've got 6 bosses right now," or something, right? Truth is, I don't know how many people work at Hattie B's today, but let's say round number, like I've got 300 bosses, right? And that's really the way we feel like this thing is all oriented and has to work. Like I'm underneath everybody's feet, hopefully, right? That's the goal every morning, is to figure out how I can make like a lever and get up under somebody's feet and push. So it's not a, hey, I need it's hey, what's, because
great.
Ultimately, generally when people fail at that, it's because we have left some impediment in the way. There's some bump in the road that's keeping them from going fast and smooth. It's like trying to skateboard down a bumpy chip and seal road. It doesn't work. But the more we can flatten and pave and grade the road of like those unnecessary things, the better off we are. So that's generally the thing that unites all of us who work in the kind of support ecosystem at Hattie B's, is we're all trying to figure out in our own ways, in our own areas that we work with, how we can just grade the road of everything that is an impediment to that, the simplicity that this whole thing is
simplicity.
built around.
I've never heard it said that way, though, Brian. Get under their feet. I think that's a great leadership lesson, and to have everyone sense about.
Well, and I'll tell you what. So one way that we show our commitment to that is when you're your very first day at Hattie B's, one of the first things that you'll see is this silly little animated thing that I built that kind of tells you some things about the company. And one of those things that we tell everybody on day one is exactly the way we feel about that, right? That you, brand new team member, are all the way up here. And me, whatever my title is, right? I'm all the way down here. I'm here to serve you. You're ultimately the one who's going to touch Valerie when she comes in tomorrow, right? Wow. So we acknowledge this with every team member on day one. And hopefully that helps them hold us accountable to it also, right? If we ever have a day where we're getting a little too big for our britches, they'll say, hey, boss, I thought you were working for me here. I thought you were in support of me. And right? So
that's great.
Yeah, because we love holding each other accountable. That is loving.
That is loving. Holding people accountable is loving. Did we all get that? That's so good. Holding people accountable is loving. Yep. Well, and the other thing you mentioned is that simple is sticky.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Yeah. So then it's just the virtue of the simplicity of what we do in terms of like how we approach service and how we approach menu and recipe and food preparation enables that to be sticky. So that because we're at Chicken Shack and you could think, it's just fried chicken. It is full of devilish details and food science and wonderful things, right?
Right.
And so we have to make sure that we nail those things. And so the simpler we can make it, the stickier it is. You know, for example, we have the total inner secrets here. So don't tell anybody, okay? We've got a great beer, right? It's called Drinkin' Buddy. It's a golden ale. We make it with a brewery back home called Jackalope. We love them. They started slightly before Hattie B's did, but we kind of feel like we've kind of started around the same time in
partnering
and grew together. And so recently we finally paired to make a really incredible beer called Drinkin' Buddy. And it speaks to kind of our relationship with them. We're drinking buddies. Right? Real simple beer, but a great hot chicken. I think it's the best hot chicken beer that's ever been made. It's perfect. Anyway, what is the natural next step when you have a great golden ale? Well, for me, it was we got to make a beer cheese, right? Because we got all this difficult stuff at Hattie B's, you know, French fries and tenders and all that stuff. So we made an incredible beer cheese that you can get at Hattie B's called Drinkin' Buddy beer cheese, right? But just like beer cheese anywhere, you make it at home or any restaurant, you can't just make it and sit there and look at it. You gotta put a whisk in that thing and stir it throughout, right? You got to keep it silky smooth. And so we if you go to Hattie B's right now and you say if it's not silky smooth, somebody will repeat it's not Drinkin' Buddy.
Oh,
right? Whether it's the beer or the beer cheese. So even just simple little devices like that, you know, and a real busy environment like Hattie B's can be sometimes. Keeps us honest with it, you know? Like when I walk back in and I'll look at that beer cheese and say, hey, is it silky smooth? You know? And the answer is yes, because somebody has just said that. And so. You
know what, Brian? Could I just clone you as a leader and plop you into a lot of other companies?
No, we need them all inside Hattie B's. But there's a lot of us in there.
Of course you do.
Well, listen, we have big ambitions. We really want to grow as big as we can and create as much opportunity to give and create opportunity for teammates as we can. So, no, we need every one of those folks to stay at Hattie B's for as long as possible.
All right, I'm going to get to food and what makes it different because I've told you I love to cook. That's my passion. But I've never made chicken tenders. I'd have to get a big thing, and no, not going to do that.
No, you don't.
But I'm going to come to Hattie B's. Okay.
So we do.
So my question to you is, I have so many. What part of the recipes do you come up with?
Okay, so
do they change?
I can answer this for you. So
I'm so glad.
Here's another great thing. This goes back to simplicity, right? I feel like Nick Sr. would be so happy right now because this is one of his favorite fundamental methods. He's a legend.
Well, he's going to see this.
He's so inspirational. I mean, really, he that's the way we all feel inside, but inside the company, you know. So with recipes, these are all classic family recipes, like right from our moms and grandmoms. And before there was Hattie B's, there was some great businesses in the Bishop family. Meat and Three. You know what a meat and three is? That's a Southern thing.
No, what?
No, so it's like it's like cafeteria style. You go in, you choose your meat,
okay,
right, and then you choose your choice of veggies. Meat and three, right?
Okay.
And so that was really the foundation of Hattie B's. And in fact, before there was Hattie B's, there's Bishop's Meat and Three right outside Nashville. In Cool
As a
Springs.
restaurant?
Still exists. Yeah, they're going strong.
No kidding.
Yeah, so all of these recipes come way before me, and really this is part of the benefit of being simple in the menu, right? Is that we're not churning up the time we've got, generally speaking, on like the next limited time offering or the next gimmick. So our time is spent, and my time, and I really feel like my role here is to look for opportunities to create marginal gains. Little opportunities to make what we do better than it was yesterday, more consistent than it was yesterday. Because again, we got to grade the road, Val, right? And if it's impossible for you to make the same awesome pimento mac and cheese, right? Or if medium is this spicy today and that spicy tomorrow, we're making the road bumpy, right? And so that's really what my contribution is. And we do develop some awesome new things. So that Drinking Buddy beer cheese, our Dirty Bird fries, which are kind of like the Hattie B's greatest hits on loaded fries, But the bulk of our work, we're not trying to do like hot chicken, taco burrito, everything under the sun, right? We do great bone-in Nashville hot chicken, tenders and sandwiches, and awesome sides and desserts. And you'll see things evolve over the years. And sometimes there'll be changes that are bigger than others, right? We may just change something completely. But generally speaking, it's just trying to do everything we can to make sure we've left no stone unturned.
And consistent.
And
consistent.
Yeah, right. It can't, because you're only as good as your last Val.
That's right.
And it doesn't matter how great your time was if the next person or the next day didn't experience that. We've got to make sure that everybody has a Val level experience.
Gosh. Well, you just triggered something in a negative, because I was going to ask. I have had some flops in my life, right? So now I'm just talking about life and leadership and you. And that is that, what do you do when... I'll take it to a recipe first and then life's lesson, however you want to answer it. So I experimented with Chinese food.
Okay.
I took a course. I came home and I said, Doug, I am going to make some Chinese food tonight.
Okay.
Well, I didn't have the hot sauce, so I just used Tabasco.
Okay.
Oh, my gosh.
Good, not good?
What? Not good.
No?
No.
It wasn't a successful fusion?
No. One swallow down, he left the table, and I saw him the next day.
No.
So, have you ever had any culinary flops in your career?
Oh, God, yes. I don't know how
Tell us something funny.
Goodness gracious. I mean, I screw up all the time. That's really what so much of our R&D is trying to push the edges into failure and then backing up a little bit. You know what I mean? Like,
that's a good way to look at it. Because you don't know how far you can
go until you figure out how far you can't go.
That's a good way to look at it.
Especially with things like trying to make chicken stay crispy when you take it home or back to work, or
how do you do that?
Everything is important. The way we fry it, the way we bread it, the kind of box we put it in, the way the bag is closed. I mean, it's wild.
Okay, stop a minute, because I had not thought about that.
Yeah.
But the reality is we've been back now several times, and when we do bring it to go and bring it home and eat it that night, that's kind of amazing.
It's hard. It's hard, but
that has to be hard.
Yeah. But again, that's a testament to the fact that our team that day, again, that time, did a great job. Which
incredible.
Is awesome. Kudos to the team. And,
right.
And hopefully we continue to make it as easy as possible for them to keep getting those wins. That's the goal. It feels good to be in that zone. So
I want to know about Nick and Nick Jr.
Yeah.
I know that Nick had retired when he started this. Tell us the story about...
Okay, now I'm not the right guy to tell you that particular story.
I read it online.
So we'll have Senior and Junior back and let them tell you about that one. But yes, thank goodness he did. And so you know about the name Hattie too, right?
No, I don't.
So Hattie is three generations in their family. It's Junior's oldest daughter, Hattie.
Okay.
Who I kind of think of as like the official Hattie at Hattie B's. I'm sure she'll sign our checks one day. She's awesome. And then also a grandmother and great grandmother. So it's not just like a name we thought sounded like it's like something. It really is a tribute to the way that that the two Hatties before really approached and the way they treated people. I mean, the way we treat people is the way they would have approved.
What a great story! What a great story!
I mean, that's the way we talk about it in the kitchens. When we were coming out flying here yesterday from Nashville, and we have a location in the Nashville airport. And we have some new management team there who are awesome, and talking to them about kind of the things that are important to us, and talking about the cleanliness of the kitchen, right, and how important that is, but not because it's important, because we want to be safe and clean, and we respect the health department, right, and the right way to do business. But the way we approach it is, what if your mom was going to turn the corner right now? would your mom be happy with what she's looking at right now? Because, like, right, if your mom's
Clean
happy,
the mess up
chances
is
are
what
health
you're
inspectors are going to be happy too.
saying.
The guests are going to be happy, right? So that's the way we think about it. But I mean, really, we are working hard every day to make sure that the examples that they set, are grown as much as locations of Hattie B's.
Well, you're doing it. Do people ever give you feedback? Do you have any
Yes.
little surveys or anything?
We do. And listen, that feedback is critical. And so all of you who come into Hattie B's Dine In or To Go and give us feedback or wherever you do it, we tremendously appreciate it. We have an incredible team in Nashville. Every single one of them. Every single one. You would be amazed how many people in the Hattie B's organization see every one of those things. We take them so seriously. I can't tell you how many days I wake up. And it's like what we're talking about. We may have had 1,002 great experiences yesterday, but there's one that we're all talking about at 7:30 in the morning, right? Like, how can we avoid that? How can we make that better?
Which is great.
The feedback is huge.
Feedback is important.
It's massive. Yeah, I mean, we figured that. We hadn't figured it out yet.
Well, the day you do, let me know.
And the greater intelligence. I mean, we have some incredible guests who let us see things from angles that we may not otherwise see. I mean, it's so easy to get lost in your own stuff. You get so intimate with what you do. Sometimes you lose the simplest perspective, right? I see, like, I'll walk into a Hattie's and I'll see, oh, there's a light bulb that needs to be, like,
the details.
So many little things. Is that oven hot enough? Or is this, putting thermometer, like, are we just nailing the details? But in reality, like, the guests didn't see any of that. They saw this little thing that was either really awesome or really wasn't. And so that feedback is huge. So yeah, all that to say, thank you. And we really appreciate it. I mean, it is not just like going into the ether or like ticking a box that we have a place for you to leave a comment that nobody sees. That's like, you are our strategic advisors. I mean, it really.
Well, that's nice. I'll write a feedback.
It's true.
I'll write a feedback. What is this about hugs and high fives?
Okay. So yes, we do Nashville hot chicken, but Hattie B's is really an experience business.
Well, it
Listen,
is.
We're
I
from
now know.
Nashville. And like, if you're from Nashville, it's all about the way you feel and that big energy of being in Nashville. And I kind of think of it as like the combination of a hug and a high five. Because it's super loving. It's like
that's good.
It's like that kind of like squeeze hug, from like somebody you hadn't seen in a long time. You're like, ugh. It's kind of like that, where it's big and energetic and exciting, but also loving and like in there, and so that is what we spend as much time trying to develop and train, but also create an environment where it can happen.
Yeah,
that whole grade of the road thing, so because that's the thing, we call it the juice.
The juice.
And it's impossible to be juicy if you're just like dying in operational stuff that's not working. Like I can have the best training course in the world
juicy.
On how to be like juicy and how we want you to make a guest feel fun and all that. But if like the reality is you're dying in a plumbing issue or a equipment issue or an avoidable operational thing that, then like we can't be juicy and the best training in the world won't be effective.
So juicy takes me back to how you train people. You are very quiet. You've got such a great outgoing personality. You do. And the people that work there at the restaurant I went to do too. So how do you create that pumped up energy that lasts with the employees that are at the restaurants every day?
Yeah. So like, it's like 99% just creating the right environment. It's just like making the right Petri dish. You know how it is, right? You remember science class in middle school.
Oh, okay. I do.
In the wrong conditions, that thing just won't. It's like if you try to make a meringue in a dirty mixing bowl.
It won't happen.
You'll never get those whites to whip.
No.
You just sit there and beat them and beat them and beat them and beat them all day.
True.
But if your whisk and your bowl is squeaky clean, right, comes right together. So like 98% of it is that, really. And then the rest of it, it smells good at Hattie B's. It tastes good at Hattie B's. It sounds good at Hattie B's, right? We love the throwback jams, Motown and funk and soul and throwback hip hop and R&B. The energy is fun. To see our folks legitimately, authentically enjoying each other's company, even though it's busy. It's cool to see somebody having fun at work. And look, I mean, we're not perfect. We all have our days, but that's what it is.
Well, if you all, I'm in Dallas, Texas. I didn't say y'all. I said you all.
Yeah, if y'all.
If you all in the audience have not experienced Hattie B's hot chicken, I have to say, I can't do really hot anything.
Okay,
It's
you
too
don't have
spicy.
to.
And that was what I was going to
Yeah.
say. So when I walked in, I had your chicken, but it wasn't the hot chicken.
That's right. You don't have to go spicy.
No, I don't have to go spicy.
No.
Oh, I don't know how.
You don't even have to
the
go
time-
fried. You can go grilled.
Oh, I didn't know
It
that.
doesn't even have to be cheat day.
Was
to come
that
to
on the
Hattie B's.
menu, grilled?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I
Now,
missed
look,
that.
We're good at cheat day.
Oh.
For sure, right? But you can
Okay.
do grilled tenders and black eyed pea salad, collard greens. You're not breaking the
Well, I
quarter
might
thing
try
at
that.
all. Great for meal prep, too.
Yeah.
Get those grilled tenders, take them home. You got protein sorted for the whole
It's a
week.
shame you don't like the food.
I love it. So
I have to tell you, I have a son who spent a lot of years in California, and the family now has a home in Tennessee. That's their primary home. They still have one in California. But the point is, they love the area of Nashville, Tennessee. Just saying. Now, don't everybody from Dallas get up and move, but it's got its own vibe, doesn't it?
come visit. And actually, the fall is a great time. It's hot.
It is.
You all know.
Right.
It's hot here in the summer. It's hot here like, what, 10 months of the year?
Pretty much.
But yeah, it's the fall or the spring is beautiful in Middle Tennessee. So yeah, come see us. But
So y'all
see
come-
us here in Dallas or in Austin.
Well, that's right.
And look, a lot more Hattie. We're so excited about Texas. We're really excited to grow into some awesome new places in Texas over the years to come. So if
It's-
we're not near you now, give us a chance. We'll be near you soon.
So again, where are you? Different
So-
cities?
Yep. So in Texas here, we're in Dallas here in Oaklawn on Lemon, and then we're in Austin on South Lamar.
And other states?
Yep. So in Alabama, we're in Birmingham. In Nashville, we're all over the place. You can find us almost anywhere in Nashville.
Right.
We're in Atlanta, in Little Five Points on the east side, and then West Midtown. Who did I forget? Memphis. We're in Midtown in Memphis, South
Okay.
Cooper Street. And then, of course, we're in the Cosmopolitan, right on the Strip in Las Vegas. We opened that one on my birthday.
Did you?
On my 40th birthday.
How's it
weekend.
doing? Doing well?
It is incredible. Yeah, we opened in 2018. We have some amazing partners there at the Cosmopolitan. I kid you not. They are so good. We're also in the airport in Nashville. And very recently, we're in Nissan Stadium in Nashville where the Titans play football.
Oh, my gosh.
Yes.
You know, it's a great audience to have a guest who works for a company and runs a big part of it that is doing so well with all of the values that Brian has just talked about. I want to thank you so much. He flew in literally, I think, with his own wings.
No, well, we don't. It's not every
just
day.
before the show, and I'm grateful.
I'm grateful. It's not every day we get a chance to just tell the story of the love and kind of the emotions that drive our business. You know, it doesn't make us perfect, but I wouldn't have it any other way. And like you said, it makes every day just gratitude soup. You know, just we're swimming in it.
Gratitude soup.
We're so thankful for the opportunities we have every day to grow this amazing thing and grow these teams and cities. So thanks for giving us the opportunity, and thank you all for watching. Welcome to the family. We love you.
Oh, that's so good. Thank you, Brian. Thanks. And we'll get you back. We'll get anybody you want to come on the show because it's
You
gonna,
gotta meet Senior
the
and Junior.
energy.
They really are
Oh
the
my
best.
gosh. I
They're the
didn't have
best.
to wear red. I can just zoop right out. All right. You know, audience, that I always leave with the Valerieism. So I want to share what that is. It's just kind of a little philosophy. And mine today is when you're running fast, be willing to trip up. I just
Amen.
love that one.
It's going to happen.
I come out, you give
gonna
me
happen.
some. Yeah. Well, it is going to
Yeah.
happen.
Oh, what's the BMOism?
BMOism.
Yeah, that was the Valism. That was a good one. You want a BMOism?
Yeah.
Is it loving? That
There
thing
you
you're about
go.
to do or say?
There you
If it
go.
is, do it. If it's not, don't.
Well, we can just end with that. Brian, you're incredible, my friend.
Thank you so much.
Come back.
Anytime.
Anytime.
Awesome.
And audience, if you love this show, then hit that red button, please.
Please.
Please. And
Do
I'll
it.
tell you why. I'll tell you
It's
why.
loving. That's why.
Well, thank you. It is loving. It's loving to me because it tells me that you're wanting to see some of the shows. Now you are number 188 by the way.
Wow.
Show.
Amazing.
Amazing.
Congratulations. It's so
Oh,
impressive.
no, you know what? It is all the guests. It's all wonderful
I
people
don't
like
know.
you.
I don't know. You're all, hey, am
I
right?
appreciate
Am I right?
Well, we both appreciate you, audience, so you be sure and eat some of that Hattie B's hot chicken, whether it's hot or not. I can't do hot, as I said. Just get in there and try it. And be sure and share this podcast. There's so many great things we talked about that have everything to do with running a business and caring about people and being a leader. So until next time, stay authentic. Cheers, Brian.
Cheers.
All
I've always
right.
wanted to do this.
There
Mystery
you go.
coffee cup beverage. Yeah.
Check.
Thanks for listening. To receive Valerie's voice, free monthly leadership tips, and to learn more about her leadership programs and coaching, visit her website, valerieandcompany.com. Next week, we'll be here again to inspire, engage, and equip you with teachable points of view from successful leaders who have been doing it right. Until then, lead authentically.
Okay, I want to do something really fun, really fast with Brian. I am going to throw a word out, Brian, and I just want your first reaction. You ready?
Okay, hold on.
Okay.
PG, okay.
Okay, fun,
Hattie B's.
restful,
Never.
inspiring,
Nick and Nick.
silly.
Me.
I would agree. Memorable.
Hopefully every guest's experience.
Advice.
Is it loving?
Balance.
Not as important as you might think.
Future.
Growth.
And impactful.
The way you make people feel.
That's it.